Hello, Cherries, and welcome to Live Cherries Sunday, episode 185. And in today's video, I'm going to show you the most important thing to know on the guitar, and that's the 7 diatonic chords. And we're going to get right to that. I just want to say hello to my friend here, Jeffrey Boyle. Give me a round of applause. What's happening, Jeffrey? Paul Murrow, give you a round of applause. Fried catfish, hush puppies, coleslaw, whiskey, and beer. Wow, it's only 12 o'clock. I thought I was having a good day so far. That's great. So, hopefully you can hear my guitar out there. Let me know if you can, or if you can't. So, we're going to go through the most important thing to know on the guitar. It's the 7 diatonic chords. And it's essentially the E major. It's the major scale. Could be any key. It's the same thing applies to every key. Paul, laughing out loud. It's a solfege. It's the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And before you chew my head off, you strict music theory fanatics out there, generally people from different countries will say that this solfege, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, is not correct because it starts on E, when the correct starting place would be C. But that's for a fixed solfege, where E would be mi. So do, re, mi, if it was in the key of C, C, E. But it's a movable solfege. So it's do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, wherever you start the major scale. I don't care what key you're in, it's a movable solfege. And some people don't believe in that. Just thought I'd get that out of the way. We're in the key of E, and we're going to go E major scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Good volume? All right. Excellent, Jeffrey. And so that's 7 notes. It's the same notes. I'm going to play around a little bit here. And it's going to be just all this stuff is the same 7 notes. Same notes. Back to E again. All right. Check like. Yeah, right on, Paul. If you're enjoying this, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I go live every Sunday at 12 o'clock. Trying to give you some, hopefully, useful information here. This is really, and the reason why I'm doing this here today is it's really the fundamental of everything that I kind of do and everything I like to talk to you guys about as far as playing guitar. It's really the basic, you have to know this stuff really to kind of go any further. And so one of the first things that I learned on guitar is just the 7 basic chords. Now these 7 chords apply to every key because it's all the same. But once you know these, it's really important because every chord you play generally is one of these chords, and it sets up the framework for all the modes arpeggios. Of course, when you get into some jazz stuff and you start playing some other scales, that works into it. But I think that 90% of the songs that you hear in the world are based around this combination of chords, starting with the major scale. So any questions about this so far, let me know. It's a solfege. If you could sing do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, you know it. You know every chord, every note in pretty much Western music if you just know that do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. That's why it's so important. And I could really kind of drive it home a little bit right here with this chart right here. It's the Roman numeral system. It's what people, some people, Nashville has a Nashville system, and it's essentially the same thing as this right here. In the key of E, first of all, let me just go back to see what you're drinking out there today, because I know that there's some whiskey and beer, but I've got this coffee. Just to let you know real quick, my power went out last night in my apartments. The whole block essentially went out at about 10 o'clock p.m. I was actually sitting on my couch playing guitar, thinking about what I was going to do. It was my first Saturday night at home, not playing in probably a year. So at some time I was thinking about it, and then all of a sudden the power went out, and it didn't come back on till this morning about 8:30. So I didn't make the coffee. I walked over to the store last night, bored, and I just bought one of those canned coffee things. La something. I don't know, the cans around here something. I really like those things. La C something. Let me know if you know what I'm talking about there. And a Star Crunch. I bought a Star Crunch. Those chocolate candies that I used to love when I was a kid, and they still have them. And it's going to kill me. It's only $1. The cheapest things are what kills you, right? So anyway, back to this Roman numeral system. We like to have fun here, right? So, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E. They also have numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go figure. We're going right up the musical alphabet right there. The musical alphabet is only, it only goes from A to G. Of course, there's some sharps and flats in there as well. And harmonics. Sharps or flats are the same thing for different notes. But, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la. Whoop. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Practice your ear training and your voice on this as well. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, si, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Harmonize with it, do all kinds of stuff with that. So, now we've said that, all those notes are chords as well. The one chord is the first note. That's an E. So you get an E major. The 2 chord, F sharp, is an F sharp. When you see those lowercase Roman numerals, that means that they're minor. So the uppercase are major chords, and the lowercase are minor chords. F sharp being minor, G sharp being minor, A being major, B being major, C sharp being minor, D sharp, I should have wrote that in there, but D sharp's a diminished, half diminished chord. Back to E again. Alright. And that applies to every key that you want to play in. All these chords and the relationship between these chords is just so important to know. It really, like I was saying, it's to pick up on anything else that I might, teach. You kind of have to know these, because when I play this one chord, it's an Ionian, You know, it's a major scale. You go to the 2 chord, you know it's going to be a Dorian because it has the same, it's the notes of the Dorian. 3 notes per string. These are all the same notes. I'm playing the E major scale notes. You know, in the 3rd, Phrygian. The 4th chord would be a Lydian. Once again, these are all the same notes. I'm just recycling. 5 would be a Mixolydian. C sharp would be an Aeolian minor, natural minor. Be a Locrian, this 7 chord. Back to the major. So it's all related, all these 7 notes, and it's really important. So it's really, really fun. And once you know them, you can do them in any key. As a matter of fact, when you play, say, say you play a cowboy chord, it's like a C to a G, F, C. Right, see? All that is a C. It's a C to a 5, to a 4, back to a 1. As if you were playing in C, it would be a C to a 5, to a 4, to a 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same thing as this chord. This F, 4, same thing as this chord. Back to the 1. So these are all bar chords. Like that. So, hopefully you're enjoying that. Hopefully you're picking up on it. Any questions, let me know. But we're going back to E, because I'm actually in tune for E. Believe it or not. Different chords really don't really tune as good together. I have to tune this. I have to tune the B a little bit sharp here. Hear that? So the E is in tune, and all these bar chords are in tune. But if I hit a D chord, it's sharp. So, do a whole video on that. But for here, it's good. Really crazy, huh? Do a whole video on tuning one day. Get to the bottom of that. Of course, you can compensate a little bit, going a little bit flat, like if you want to do something like this. Now watch here. Now this will be in tune. And listen to the E chord. Right? You try to compromise. Leave it a little bit flat so that the D actually sounds good. Or the G, but listen. It's close. That's actually pretty good. So what happens is, you hit this B down here. this B note right here. Then you had an open B. See, and it's like sharp because you're fretting the B here. So the B wants you to lift that up a little bit to match. Right there. No, it's sharp, so there's no way around it. So anyway, we'll move on from that. So going back over here, check this out. We'll close that off. Whoop, not that. We'll close this off. We're going to go into here, and I'll show you the chords. So you got an E major chord. That's the one chord. And it's made up of, if you look down on the neck now, if you look more vertically, you'll see how it's made up. The first chord on the E string is the E, then the next note is a B. Well, that's the fifth. And the next one's an octave again. Then you have on the G string the third. Then you have the fifth again. Then you have the root. Okay, so this fifth is the same thing as this fifth. So if I went up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's how it makes up that part of the chord, the fifth right there. And there's the octave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Same thing. Now the third is 1, 2, 3. Just an octave higher. All right, Jeffrey Boyle. Glad you like it. Then the E up there is the same thing as this E right here. Only it's just will be more octave higher. It's a little bit out right there, the low E string. All right, so then we'll close that off, and then we go to the next one, F sharp. Hard to see? I'll tell you what, let me just do this, because I could actually do this here. I could blow that up, I think. How about that? Is that better? You said it was hard to see me? Well, now you can't get away from me. Is that better? Hey, here I am. Yeah, good point. Thank you pointing that out. Because what I'm showing here in these graphs are, you know, I could do it like that. It even looks better. More, perfect. Oh, see, now I'm getting carried away. Go back over to here. This first one. Make it look cooler like that, right? Okay, E major right there. I'll close that out. Now here's the next one. The F sharp. It's a 2 chord. E major, 2 chord. And these notes make up the same thing as the E major. Thank you, Finney. It's a great avatar too with your little pup there. Very, very cool. Got the F sharp. You know, just so you know also that this E major scale, it's a series of half steps and whole steps as well. And the formula for the E major scale is whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. And that's how we're basing this whole formula, this whole like progression right here. So the first one is a whole step away from E to F sharp. Now all these chords as well, and the great thing about this, looking at it like this, is that just like we did the E, the root note's on the first string, the fifth is on the A string, then you have the octave again, then you have the third, fifth, octave. And you do the same thing if you went up. Play it like that. Do some kind of interesting tapping things too. When you visualize the guitar, you can see the triads right there. That's the F sharp, E, and all of a sudden you're playing Eruption. Okay, F sharp. Then you have the 3 chord, which is a G sharp. Let's see if I try to get that in the middle there. G sharp on the 4th fret. Same chord, only just moving it up a whole step. So you got whole step, whole step. So that's the 3 chord now. And the same formula works in any key. A 1 chord, a 2 chord, a 3 chord. Here's the 5th. The root, 3rd, 5th, root. That's the 3rd chord. Then you have 4 chord, which is on the 5th fret, a half step now. So here's the formula again. Whole, whole, half. So that's your 4 chord. And it looks just like an E chord. E would be like this. Just move it up to here. Like the cage system. It's an E shape because it's an E chord here. Take it all the way up to the A. So it's an E shape, but playing an A note. So if you wanted to play like any progression, like a 1-4, you just took a... As a matter of fact, check this out. We can do a little loop here. Have some fun with it. Check it out. Play the E major scale over this progression. Something like that. So you just made a whole song right there, and a whole jam, and a backing track. How about that? Hey, get back over there. Okay, so we'll close that one out. We'll go to the next one. 5 chord up there. Man. So sharp. Don't worry, I tune for your pleasure. Let's see how that sounds. Just a little sharper. We'll get there. We'll get there. Hang tight. Strings are freaking out on me because of the weather, but it's just what we have to do. Here's the culprit. I think it's my low E. Okay. Close enough for rock and roll. All right, there we go. So then we got the B, the 5 chord. And the intervals are basically just the same as every other chord. You have on the E string, you have the roots, then you have the 5th, then you have the root, just the bar chord, and the 3rd, 5th, and the root. So that's pretty cool right there. Then you have the next chord, which is the 6th chord, which is a natural minor chord, C sharp. So you have 6. You just count up the major scale, you know all the chords. So if someone says, hey, you know, let's play like a 1 to a 6, you can play, well, here's the 1, here's the 6. Sounds like something, right? Let's go to the 5. And the 4. If we wanted to, we could do something like we could just do a little jam here. Check it out. So this progression, you just play the E major scale. the same notes. Played all the same notes all over the place. Ashley Ireland from Busch Gardens. Give you a round of applause. So this is the 5 chord. Here's the 1 chord. And we'll close it off. Did we go to the 6 chord? No, that was the 6 chord. Yeah, sorry. That was a minor 6 chord on the 9th fret. Now we got the last one here. It's just a half diminished chord. And notice how different this one looks. Like all the rest of them are very, I'll even give you a little closer up shot right here. And you're like that one. Finny. Gotta put the charts up here too on this page, which is probably should have. Right there. But you have the 1 chord, 2 chord, 3 chord, 4 chord, 5 chord, 6 chord. Now look how they're all the same. You have the root note, then you have this 2 perfect looking blocks right there on all of them. Looking at the A string and the D string, they're all perfect blocks. Except for this one. This one has that. Hold on, my A's a little bit out now. We'll get there. It's the way it is. It's rock and roll. There's my D was flat. There you go. Okay. How about that? So check it out. All these blocks are perfect fourths. Except for this one. It's a flat 5. So if you look at all these, it's the root octave 5, 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 root octave flat 5. That's what it means when it's a minor 7 flat 5. Don't let it scare you. It's all the same notes. It's just the E major scale. Same thing everywhere. It's just like the chords. Oops. It's a complete harmony of each other. Re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Just like that. Yes, I'm like Pavarotti. I am like Pavarotti's protege. More like Pooparati. Alright, so there you have that. And if you're enjoying this video, hit that like button so far. Let me know if you have any questions about any of this stuff. Ashley from Ireland. Very cool. All the way from Busch. Oh, I'm sorry. Ashley Ireland from Ireland. Duh. I'm sorry. I'm tripping out. Didn't get much sleep last night. But what else is new? Busch Gardens, Tampa. Did I meet you in Busch Gardens when I was there? Actually, do I always ask you this when you pop in? Because the last couple of years I've played at Busch Gardens in the Stanleyville Theater. Here's one little cool thing I used to always do a lot. And it demonstrates this diatonic E major thing, which is cool. So like, something like that. Robert R. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, I like that avatar. Is that a... looks like a guitar going to the left. Oh, it's hard to see. Now, this doesn't really end quite here. What we can do is we'll close this back off. Not like that. Like, where were we here? Hold on a second. Okay, there, like that. We'll go back up to the beginning. Remember we played this E chord like this, right? But if you play it like this, you have an E major 7 now. Just take this E, this third note. Now you're playing it over here. So you have an E major 7 now. This is part of the E major scale. Right? The 7th of E is that E flat right there. So you have... And you don't even have to stop there. You go... We play the second chord. There was an F sharp. Take that same thing, the octave, and drop it down. It looks like this. F sharp minor. Then we had the G sharp. And drop it down again. It looks just like this. The same thing. A 7 chord. We're just adding the 7th degree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. On the root here again would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7. Losing my mind here. There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There it is. Minor. Then we go to the next chord right here, like we did, and it's the A major 4 chord. Now the 4 chord is going to be a major 7 chord, just like that, just like the E was. We take the same thing, go all the way up here to the A, do the same thing. You have the A7, A major 7. Then you have the B chord. Then you're dropping it down, B7. Just dropping it, this thing. Then you have the A chord. C sharp chord. C sharp minor. Same thing with the other minor chords. Make it a C7. C sharp minor 7 chord. Then D sharp, half diminish. And you can do the same thing with the 7th right here. Actually like this. So I have there's the 7th, the 3rd, the flat 5. It's really hard to finger. This way's easier. But I wanted to show you on this position. Like the Chili Peppers. Right? They use that chord. Alright. Very, very cool. Alright, so let's go Go back here. Say hello. Everything's going good. Hopefully you're getting something out of this so far. So it really, I think it's the most important thing on guitar. I mean, it's the fundamentals of the whole thing right here. So if you're playing an E, so it says, hey, I want to write something in E major. Well, now you know every chord that you could play in E major, any key. You know the E major scale? That's horizontally. You play it vertically. And you know all the chords that go along with it. And I showed those sevenths because it makes it a little bit more interesting. E major 7. The 3 chord. 4 chord. You know, it has a sharp 4 right there. 5 chord. And that wants to lead back to the 1 always. Back to the 5 chord. 6 chord. That's the natural minor, the relative minor. Robert R. It's a squire with no pickguard, no knobs, or switch, or jack on the front. It's a back tucked away. It's on the back. Let's see. It's a squire with no pickguard, no knobs, or switch, or jack on the front. It's on the back tucked away. Interesting. It's on the back. All your knobs and stuff are on the back of the guitar tucked away? It's a little too crazy to understand. There, no pickguard, no knobs, no switch, no jack on the front. It's on the back, tucked away. So all your knobs and stuff is on the back of the guitar? That's crazy. It's like you took the guitar like this and you just turned the neck back around. I don't know. That's weird. I gotta see it to believe it a little bit more. I gotta look a little closer at that picture. Yeah. Alright. Finny. This has been great. Been struggling on what the thirds, fifths, and sevenths are, and this made it very clear. Oh, very cool. I'm glad that you brought that up. I'm glad that you find this helpful. And yeah, every chord here has a its intervals, and with the E chord, and it's really all the same here. If you look at it like this chord, on the E string you have your root note, on the A you have your fifth, on the D string you have your octave, and then you have your third on the G string. Then the fifth is on the B string, and the open E. And if I want to hit a major 7 chord, you take that E that's right there and just drop it down, half step. And it's the same thing for all the chords going up. You have the root, fifth, root, third, fifth, root. Make it a seventh. Same thing here. So here's in harmony, 7 chords in harmony. It's hard to hit. If you're ever really not sure, just count the notes up the scale. Here's a third. Here's a second. So you could play a 9 chord by adding the F sharp in there. Because really a 9 is the same thing as 2. Because it only goes to 8. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So when I say 9, that's just really, you're just cycling it over. So now it's 9. So if this is 8. If the root is a 1 or 8, if you continue up the scale, again, that'd be 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, which never goes to that. 13 is always the highest. So it's 8, 9, 10, 11, or 4. That's why you always hear like a 11 is the same thing as a 4. A 9 is the same thing as a 2. They never really call it a 10. It's always a 3. The 4 sometimes is 11. Sometimes you have a sharp, when you hear like a sharp 11, well really, or sharp 4, that would be like this. The Lydian sound, sharp 11. Same thing. So here's a 4, there's a 5, and then another thing you hear, here's a 6 or 13. So sometimes you hear 13 chords, it's no more than just a 6 chord. And then you have a sharp, a lot of times you'll hear flat 13, a sharp 13. It'd be like that. You know, if you're playing an E, like the a 6 chord right here. Hear that chord right there. With flat 13 would be like this. Glad you found that helpful. All right, so yeah, hopefully enjoying your Sunday here so far. It's a beautiful gray day out. Like I said, if you missed it earlier, my power was out all night and went on a little bit late. It went out like 10:30 p.m. last night, and didn't get it back on until 8:30 this morning. So I was wondering if I was going to even be able to go live here today. But luckily it did. I got a notification from the electric company, and they said that it would go on about 9 o'clock. It went on 8:30. Wow. And so the good thing about this is that really it works in every key. You know, if you're playing in G, it's the same exact thing. You know, you're playing G right here. A G to a C to a D. You have a 1-4-5 progression. That'd be the same thing as doing this. It's the same exact thing. You can relate it to some cowboy chords that you might play. G, C, T, G, Same thing. We just transpose this whole thing that we just did today. The G, it's the same thing. Re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re, do. So if you're playing this progression, and you're like, well, I want to add some more chords to this. You got the 1, you got the 4, 5. We have, you got the 2 chord, you got the 3 chord, you got the 6 chord. You got a few more chords in there, so let's try, we'll add the 2 chord. So just added the A, the 2. It's the same in everything. What about the 3 chord? Then C. D. Here's a 3 chord. You can do licks up the scale. Hit the 1, 2 minor, 3 minor, 4 major, 5 major, 6 minor, 7 minor. Getting a little carried away, but it's all the same thing. I'm playing, it's all in G major because I know the G major scale. And I know the 7 chords that go along with it. My finger's too big for up here. So I would just go like this. And go. Then here. Same thing applies with the 7 chords. It's all the same. And that's why I say this is so important. This particular lesson here is, I don't know if I presented it perfectly, but I did my best given the allotted time, since I had no power all night till today. And look, I have no coffee. That means no power either. But I do have my Cherry mug, which everything tastes better. Cherry mug. So, any questions about any of this stuff? Let me know, please. I go live every Sunday, just like I did today. We had a good time here today. Sorry if I spent a lot of my time tuning the guitar and in La La Land, but hopefully found this thing helpful. I find it very, very, very helpful because everything that I do basically, is based around this. Coming up with chords, coming up with figuring out what your tonal center is, or figuring out what the vibe is. Right now this is like really easy stuff in E, right? It's just happy major. It's E major scale. It's pretty vanilla right there. It's all very, very vanilla right there. I'm just playing all the same notes. Everything I just play is E major. But within those 7 chords are all of your modes and all of your vibes, are moods. So, yeah, email me a picture of the guitar for sure. And if you want a PDF of all these charts, I will put that down on a PDF and I'll send it to you. Just info@jerrycherry.com. Send me an email. Shoot me that email, that picture. I want to see that guitar, Robert. Looks really cool. And if you want the PDF, like I said, just email me as well. info@jerrycherry.com. And I'll get it back to you sometime today. I'm getting good at making these PDFs. It's pretty easy. It's just going to take me a little while because there's a lot of them on there. And I have to name them all as well so you can see what they are. It's very helpful, right, to know exactly what they are. But what I was saying is, and the final thing that we'll land the plane on this one right here is that, within these chords is everything. We're really happy with what we're doing. But if we played the F sharp, the 2 chord, and that was in itself its own thing right there, right? You're playing an F minor, vamp, whatever. Like if we went something like this and we made a loop out of it. So I'm using my RC5 looper, which I've been using forever, and it's great. We did a little loop on this, like a. What do we do? Like a. Now, how different is this right here than what we were just playing? Just like. Completely different feel than what we're playing. Right? And though, that it's all based around the same thing. Like all that stuff is based around there. But I took one chord out of that. And I know that based on the scale, the notes of the scale, that chord now is the Dorian feel. It's the 2 chord, and I know that the 2 chord has a major 6 in there, so it has that note. So it's different than a regular minor. It has that Dorian feel. Or if I was playing this C sharp minor, a regular natural minor chord, that's kind of like this. If it was it's a totally different vibe here. Oops, that's wrong. Right? So that's the same notes. I'm playing C. So I know C sharp minor. I know this is the 6th chord. Natural minor is always going to be the 6th, but I also know that it's the 6th of what? Of the E. know if I wanted to move around, add some different chords to it, I can go. So that's where all of your flavors come from these 7 chords. You know, one last one is very, very popular one. If I played this B chord, you know, it's just like. Something like that with this particular same drum beat. And I went, it's like. Now I have that. It's a 5 chord type of thing. It's a major chord with a flat 7. You could play the Mixolydian scale. All these notes are E major scale. La, sol, fa, mi, re. Mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re. I'm starting on the B. So, All right, Bobby. So hopefully you found this helpful. And, going back to that little vamp right there. I know that's it's a 5 chord. Well, it's a 5 of what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a 5 of E. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's it. That's all there is to it. That's everything in music that you ever need to know. I'm just kidding. But it's really, really important. And it's a good practice to just notice in all the keys. And it's really easy to learn in every key. You don't really have to know in every key. You'll just start to play it. You're in A. You're like... It'd be like A, B minor, C. So it's the same thing in all the keys. So really get that under your fingers, mess around with it. Email me at info@jerrychair if you want a PDF of these graphs so I can show you the E, E7, E major 7, F sharp 7, G sharp 7, A major 7, B 7, C sharp minor 7, D sharp half diminished, D sharp flats, D flats minor 7 flat 5, and back to E again. Easy peasy. So I will send that to you today. No problemo. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for hanging out with me here today on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. I'm not sitting on a sofa. It's not quite sunny, but it is the afternoon. The quote. Great. Simon and Garfunkel. Well, I did meet Art Garfunkel once. And I thought he would be a lot taller. I think I even said the story. I thought he'd be a lot taller than he is. I guess because every time you see him, he's next to Paul Simon. So he looks like a giant compared to Paul Simon. But actually, he wasn't very tall. I don't know why I threw that out there. So thanks, guys, for hanging out. Jeffrey Boyle. Any questions, let me know about any of this stuff. So good to see you. And thanks for spending some time with me here. Send me that email of that picture. Robert, I want to see that guitar. That crazy guitar. And Finney, I'm glad that you made a lot of progress. And like I said, I'm here to help you if I can, And I don't know everything, but I know a little bit. And if I know a little bit more than you do, pick my brain, and vice versa. If you could help me, I would appreciate that as well. So, thanks Ashley from Tampa, Busch Gardens. Thanks Paul. Thanks everybody who popped in and spent some time with me here today on Sunday. So enjoy the rest of your day. Email me with any ideas you may have for next week. And to be actually, since we're on that, next week we have July. I'll be flying home from a gig on that Saturday, so I won't be doing it next Sunday. I'm coming home from where? From Des Moines, Iowa. I'm playing a gig with SOS, direct from Sweden. The music of ABBA. Playing there at the Signature. Where is that? Where are we playing next week? Got a lot of shows in July. Adventureland Resort in Altoona, Iowa. That should be pretty cool. If anyone out there in Iowa, and there's a bunch of shows in July. If you're around, I do play in an ABBA tribute band, and we're playing all over the country this month, and as well as Hawaii at the end of the month. So that's pretty cool. Never been to Hawaii before, and Honolulu. So I think I might surf like a 30-foot wave. If that's the case, you'll probably never see me again. So I won't be here next Sunday. We'll do Monday at 12 o'clock instead. All right, so love you guys. Ghost of Peter Steele. Hey. It's funny. Ever since I saw you last week, I looked, what is it? I didn't look up Peter Steele, but for some reason, I might, with AI and all this crazy Google stuff, right? Like, I said Peter Steele. Next thing you know, like, on my phone, there's like typo negative stuff popping up, and Peter Steele. And he's like a pretty interesting character, that guy. There's no doubt about that, you know. It's pretty cool. And like I said, I did see them. They opened up for Queensryche years ago, and it was just like sludge. His voice was so low, and the bass was so low. Everything was just so low. It was like this grunge, this oil spill, like this hot lava that was just like surrounding the auditorium. I just felt it. It's like liquid lava. Okay. So, very cool. Thanks for the heavy metal horns there. You guys rock. Unless you fix airplanes, I can't help you. No, I don't fix airplanes. But do you fix airplanes? It'd be pretty impressive if you do. And, oh, get added sound. It's really Scott Olsen. It's like, well, that's pretty cool. It's like Superman just revealed himself, like Clark Kent. That is pretty cool. It's really Scott Olsen. Stuck with this name right now. Well, you know, it's a pretty cool name to pick, Scott Olsen. It's good to know. Thank you very much for that. I had no idea. All right. You do. You fix airplanes. Well, I really can't help you with that, Finney. You know, so if you fix airplanes, that's pretty darn cool. I've always had like a really like respect for airline pilots in general. I just think that's just amazing to take that huge piece of machinery with all those people's lives that you have, that you're in control of, you know. I know that's, you know, I hear that pilots, it's all like, you know, they don't even need to actually be there. They could fly the plane without the pilot. But just in case it's faulty, they have to know how to fly the plane, which is cool. So I have the utmost respect for pilots who fly those huge jumbo jets, and they have all of our lives in their hands, and they get us from point A to point B, and that's really just amazing. And then to be able to fix those and to work on them, that's just as impressive right there. So big ol' HET airplane, a jet, so cool. What's up, Billy? You're a little late today, but the good news is that these videos last forever, so you can go back and watch it. I did some cool thing on the diatonic chords of the major scale, and it's really important to know. So go back, check this out, watch that. Good to see you, but enjoy the rest of your Sunday here. Thanks for spending time with me here today. Thanks for Billy for popping in. Some Steve Miller. Yeah, play some Steve Miller. Steve Miller, is that All right. So enjoy it, guys. I love yous. Remember, be cool, be kind, be cherry. If you want to see another video that I made on the 7 notes of the diatonic chords, check it out right up there. It's a shorter video. It's a lot clearer, probably. And enjoy. Jeffrey Boyle, have a good one, my man. We'll see you guys around. Peace. Love yous. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you next time. Ciao.